Greetings all, Pseudo from MMOBuff.TV here again. It's time for episode 3 of Hashtag Secure Gamer. As I did in the last episode, I want to bring attention to a post from one of our viewers before going into today's topic, which is all about authenticators. Sadly, I had no hashtag secure gamer freakout pictures or videos, but I am looking forward to them. So if you do have any security freakout pictures and photos, do me a favor and please send them in. Either send them to me at voice@MMOBuff.TV or leave a comment below, or catch me on Twitter and send me a message. I want to see freakouts. Okay, anyway. This week, I want to point out a comment from Matthew Darrick, and if I've gotten your names pronounced wrong, I do apologize. I am kind of nicknamed the Butcher of Languages. Matthew said, good tips. I use LastPass with two-factor due to being lazy about maintaining my own database. Also, the Android app is awesome, but does cost $12 a year. Downside to LastPass, though, not open source, so maybe one day I'll get around to switching. Now, first off, Matthew, thank you for leaving a hashtag secure gamer comment. You bring up a fantastic point about the costs that can be associated with using different password managers. Again, it's a risk and a cost that some people will find acceptable. After all, they are sort of protecting your database for you, so it's something that is well worth keeping in mind. You pay for convenience in a way there. However, the fact that you are using a password manager is something to give yourself serious credit for. And you've added two-factor authentication to your LastPass, which basically means you get serious hashtag secure gamer cred. We need to come up with like a secret handshake or something, because, yeah. Now, of course, your comment totally lets me segue straight into today's topic as well. So, yes, thank you for making my job easier. So this week, we're talking about authenticators. Now, authenticators provide a method of two-factor authentication between you and an application or a website that's used to prove who you are. Now, granted, if someone gets their hands on your authenticator or your user login information, they can actually pretend to be you. But when used in conjunction with, say, a password manager, you're mitigating the risk, which is something that we did discuss in episode 1. And believe me, that is a fantastic thing. There's a reason it's kind of being done in this order. So how does two-factor authentication work? Now, do you remember in the last episode how I spoke about the fact that I needed a password and a private SSH key in order to access my password managing database? It kind of works a little bit like that. Most of us gamers are familiar with this. Yay! Big things. These are sort of nickname secure IDs. It's what most of us are familiar with. I mean, it started back in the days when people were having problems with hacks for their accounts, etc. And yeah, more and more companies are starting to add authentication to their user accounts, which I take my hat off to them for. Now, problem is this keychain used to actually have like 8 secure IDs on here, or tokens, depending upon what you want to call it. And it gets a little bit annoying. But the way it works is you log in, usually using your username and your password, and then you're asked to put in a code. And when you use ones that look like this, when you press the button, it's actually a constantly changing code. And the amount of time before it changes can vary depending upon what a company has used for their tokens. But in general, it's roughly about 30 seconds. And you then put the code in, and then it checks it and goes, okay, we've got the username, we've got the password. Did we get the token right? And if the answer is yes, voila, you're logged in. Now, for those of you who freak out when you see that it's about to change, don't panic, because they do have a little bit of leeway for time syncing. So they may be able to accept like the one that just changed from to maybe the one that's just changed to. There might be 2 or 3 that it has a little bit of flexibility with. So you don't have to sit there and go, oh my gosh, 3, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, 2. Darn it, now I gotta go back and do it again. You don't have to do that. Although, again, if you do freak out like that, do take video and send it to me. I want to see it. Now, if you want to learn a bit more about how secure IDs work, there is going to be a link to the RSA, which are well known for creating secure token hardware like these. And they are fantastic in the world of encryption and security, etc. in their own rights. But I'm going to put a link at the bottom. Feel free to go in and dig into the white papers, dig into the research that is being done, dig into why they do what they do. It's a fascinating topic, but a little bit in depth for where we're at right now. So look in the About section and you can see that. Now, one of the things I wanted to do in this particular episode is tell you sort of my evolution of authentication, because it's taught me so many things I've learned from all of my mistakes. And a big part of hashtag Secure Gamer is me sharing my knowledge, history, and experience with you so that hopefully you don't end up making the same mistakes that I have, or potentially so that you learn from what it is that I am showing you. So again, for most of us, it started with the keychain attachments. Yeah. And then it moved to using something called Google Authenticator, usually on your phone. And this was brilliant until my phone had to be completely reformatted. I did not disconnect my authenticator from a variety of gaming websites and or email places, mainly, well, not just that, but also things like Dropbox, etc. Mainly because my phone would not start. It was dead. D-E-D, dead. And that caused a problem. It was an absolute nightmare trying to get back onto sites that required an authenticator when my authenticator no longer worked. So I sort of got a little bit frustrated, and I luckily, through some research and some friends, learned about something called Authy. Now, Authy is brilliant because it works on my phone, which is Android. It works on my tablet, which is iOS. Works on my PC, which is Windows. It works on my laptop, which is currently running a version of Backtrace. And the best part that is that when I input, say, on my PC, an authenticator code and token and sync it up, it shows up on my phone. It also shows up on my iPad. It also shows up on my laptop, all because it's all synchronized. It's sort of like what LastPass and OnePass would do for you, where they store your database in a vault. Authy does that as well. It stores your authenticators sort of in a vault so that you can sync it between your various devices. Now, again, it's up to you to make certain you're securing things. I mean, my phone is password secured, and it's also fingerprint secured, which is kind of cool. But anyway, it's up to you to kind of protect that. But by doing it this way, I don't need to freak out anymore if, say, my phone is out of battery power and maybe, you know, my tablet got smashed, or I probably just jinxed myself. That really sucks. Or, you know, maybe my PC has just died. It doesn't matter, because all I need to do is log in with my the phone number that I used to set up my account. And this is an important thing to keep in mind. The phone number you use to set up your account is the one that is basically going to let you log into your various devices. If you do not, let's say you use a landline, which you can in some countries, and then you move, that's going to be a problem. So you're going to want to sort of remember which phone number you used for it. But yeah. So anyway, it's now pretty much saved my life so many times I can't even begin to tell you. I do want to point out, like I said, a lot of gaming companies are starting to say, use secure IDs or use authenticators, use something in order to protect your accounts, which is important. And also a lot of web-based email places like Google have been, you know, saying you can have two-factor authentication, use it. A lot of sites use these, but not a token. So my Authy would not work because they specifically have it set up so two-factor authentication equates I send a message to your phone through SMS or a text message, for those of you who don't know what an SMS is. I send a text message to your phone with a code, which you can then input, and that is how you log in. Now, this is brilliant because it is a form of two-factor authentication. It, however, sucks massively for people who are mobile carriers or networks that are not recognized by the website. I'm looking at you, Twitter. There are some problems with this because it's unfair to the people who are trying to be secure, but they can't because their mobile provider, for some odd reason, is not recognized by the website. So do keep in mind that while websites are trying, there are some that still need to work, in my opinion, a little bit harder to ensure that security is there. Now, we're going to try to keep this particular episode a little shorter than last time, and I don't think I've succeeded, but hey, we're going to try anyway. And I'm going to bring you this week's Secure Gamer tip. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about antivirus stuff here. Now, there is not a single antivirus application that will keep you 100% safe. There are constant new threats coming out from keyloggers, from drive-by downloads. They're just viruses and stuff. There's so many things constantly out there. And every single antivirus software out there is trying to do their best to capture and work with it. Yet, what you would call one particular virus or Trojan in AVG would be different in Kaspersky, would be different in Microsoft Essentials. They have different names, which kind of makes it a little bit difficult to guarantee that you are protected and secure, which is why some people freak out when they install a game and they go, oh, this says it has a Trojan. Well, not for you, but for somebody running this particular version of an antivirus, it is. However, despite all of that, and again, if you freak out hearing that, please take pictures and send me screenshots. I really want to see people freaking out. But even besides all of that, simply running an antivirus helps mitigate your risk. So this means, yes, you should have antivirus running on your PC. You should also have it running on your phone. You should also have it running on your tablets. If you do not, get it today. I cannot stress this enough. There are so many things out there. Privacy, personal identification and information. Heck, even contactless payment stuff that is starting to be introduced on phones. All of this stuff needs to be secured and you need to be protected. And if you accidentally download something or visit a website that, does a drive-by download of something onto your phone, you can screw yourself over. Protect yourself. I personally use something called Lookout, but any antivirus out there of the major brands can work. And they've all got, some of them have really awesome non-resource heavy applications that you can use to install on your various mobile devices. Get it. Trust me, it'll save you a life in the future. So next week, we're going to have a tutorial. I'm going to let you pick of all the various things that I have discussed, whether it's authenticators, whether it is password managers, whether it's the Trinity, whether it's even antivirus. What tutorial would you like me to bring to you? Leave me a message down below and I will see what happens to strike my fancy. Not really. I'll just kind of work on whatever it is you guys want to see. But remember, stay #SecureGamer, folks. And I will speak with you next week. Toodle pip.